I bring you one of the most toxic relationship movies you'll ever see. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Now let's dive in. The scene opens with Vic Allen returning home after an adventure in the Louisiana woods. Upon arriving, he did something typical. He took off his pants at the front door. What wasn't typical was finding his wife, Melinda, staring at him with the intensity of someone about to win a human statue contest. Without saying a word, Melinda retreated to the bedroom, probably planning how to turn the next party into her own emotional torture show. The couple, who also have a daughter named Trixie, needed a babysitter to watch the little one since they were planning to attend an event full of friends or something like that. At the party, Melinda asked Vic for help choosing a dress, but what she really chose was a young man named Joel to be her dance partner. Without hesitation, she walked away from Vic and dove into Joel's arms, making it clear her husband was the human equivalent of an old sofa. Vic, seemingly immune to embarrassment, just stood there, watching as his wife acted like a reality TV star mocking him. To top it all off, Melinda dazzled everyone at the piano, earning applause while Vic received pitying glances. When Joel tried to chat with Vic, things escalated quickly into a bizarre story about some guy named Martin, a hammer, and a prank that left Joel paler than a Twilight vampire. The next day, Melinda, with her natural talent for stirring chaos, invited Joel over for dinner, forcing Vic to apologize. Of course, Vic did so in a way that any thriller writer would approve of. He apologized and, in the same breath, threatened Joel with an imaginary hammer. Dinner was a masterclass in turning a meal into a minefield. Afterward, as Melinda exchanged caresses with Joel in the living room, Vic read a bedtime story to Trixie. In the end, Vic made it clear to Joel that his patience was shorter than the cooking time for instant noodles. Later, the plot introduced a new character, Charles, the piano teacher whose lessons cost more than a Gucci bag. Melinda sent him $33,000 and was caught dining with her new crush, while Vic discovered the missing money and the fate of her wedding ring at the bottom of the sink. The madness peaked when Vic began suspecting Charles was Melinda's new lover, imagining romantic scenes that looked like they came out of a cheesy music video. Tensions reached their boiling point when Melinda decided to make Charles the star of the next party, where he played the piano while Vic literally sank into the pool, along with Charles, during a dramatic rainstorm. Fun fact, on set, Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas began a real-life relationship, which lasted for some time, almost as unexpected as Vic tolerating everything in silence. If I were in Vic's shoes, I would never have let things with Joel or Charles go that far. On the other hand, it's curious how he tries to turn his pain into threatening jokes, as if sarcasm could fix the mess he's living in. Anyway, moving on, Vic, with a death stare and spoiler alert, it did kill, approached Charles after everyone left the party. In a fit of rage, Vic sent Charles to the afterlife. Then, as if nothing had happened, he returned to the barbecue festivities. Meanwhile, Charles's body decided to enjoy the pool, floating in the best jaws without the shark style. Melinda, realizing Charles had vanished, searched the house. When she finally checked the pool, she screamed louder than any horror movie scream queen. Chaos ensued as everyone tried to save Charles, but in a tragicomic accident, his body slipped and hit the edge of the pool. Result? Instant death. The police ruled it a basic accident, but Melinda accused Vic. Even so, Don, the story's Sherlock Holmes, thought the drowning was more mysterious. With no evidence, the case was closed, and Vic and Melinda returned home. Vic tried to move on, but it wasn't long before suspicion knocked on the door. Kelly, Don's wife, warned Vic that Don was watching him, only fueling his paranoia. At a dinner among friends or enemies, Don accused Vic not only of killing Charles but also of being involved in the death of Martin McRae. Vic, trying to keep his cool, denied everything, but the tension was thicker than the fog in The Sixth Sense. Days later, Vic noticed a car following him. He discovered the car belonged to David, a supposed psychologist who, according to Vic, was more likely a detective. Vic confronted Don again, accusing him of conspiring with Melinda. Meanwhile, Melinda revived her dating resume by bringing back Tony, an American ex-lover she proudly bragged about sleeping with first. The audacity reached its peak when she and Tony decided to flaunt their steamy connection in Vic's face. Patient as a monk? Not really. Vic planned his revenge. He lured Tony to a secluded area under the pretense of showing him a house, but the destination was far darker. Using a strategy worthy of a villain, Vic killed Tony and hid the body in the river. Later, he took Melinda and Trixie on a picnic at the same spot. He might as well have put up a sign. "Here lies Tony." Days later, Tony's body showed up in the river as if to say, "You can't get rid of me that easily, pal." Vic rushed to hide the evidence, but Melinda found Tony's wallet among Vic's things and immediately called Don because, of course, there's no better team than a betrayed wife and a suspicious neighbor. When Don arrived, he saw Tony's hand floating in the water. Terrified, he fled to alert the police. But Vic went into chase mode. Don wasn't so lucky. His car flipped off a cliff, and he died, ending his amateur detective career. Vic returned home to find Melinda burning Tony's wallet, showing that, deep down, their love had a morbid sense of complicity. While Vic tried to maintain his routine, Melinda seemed to accept that her husband was practically the neighborhood serial killer. What do we learn here? Maybe just to avoid pools at suspicious parties and never, ever trust someone who raises snails as a hobby. Interestingly, this movie gave off a dark, intense vibe. But did you know Ben Affleck's cycling scenes in the film are actually a metaphor for trying to escape his own insecurities? It's fascinating how small details tell so much. If I were in Don's place, I'd never have confronted Vic alone. After all, anyone who raises snails and lives in marital tension doesn't seem trustworthy. And you? If you were in Melinda's shoes, would you stick with Vic or run away? Let me know in the comments. Stay safe and don't forget to check out this video. I guarantee you won't regret it. Take care, and see you there.